Hi, welcome to this week's agility show. We have done our first run. It was a bit hectic because we arrived and there were only 6 dogs running the class. We knew this. And when we got to the ring, and this was like, it was the first class, so we'd only just arrived. So we got to the ring and I'm thinking, oh, I want to watch the people have a little look at the course. And they were like, any small dogs, any small dogs? And I was like, well, we're a small dog, but also not ready. So then they let me quickly walk the course, and then we went first, and someone very kindly offered to film us, because I was like, too much of a rush, I can't set my stuff up, and yeah, we got, she jumped the contact on the dog walk, so we got 5 faults, but apart from that we got round. It was a little scrappy in a couple of places. I sort of only managed to get some of the crosses in because Tilly was doing a bit of messing around, so I sort of took advantage of that. But yeah, not a bad start, and only 4 dogs at grade 2, so yeah. And our next class will be the steeplechase, which is just going on in this ring behind us. They're on large at the moment, and then there's another size before us, but not too many dogs, so yeah, we're gonna figure out where this is going. It looks like just a whole big mess of jump to the middle, but hopefully it's not too complicated. Here's our agility run, a nice start, and then she jumps off the dog walk there, then nicely into this tunnel, but then a bit of a mess here as I'm crossing over and trying to get Tilly into the weaves, which we do eventually manage, slowly weaving there and then picking up speed in the second half, and then she goes nicely over these jumps, but then after the A-frame wasn't great, so maybe I should have crossed over before the A-frame, because you can see Tilly wasn't expecting us to go the way that we went, and then onto the seesaw, and then over the final jump. We came second in the agility out of 3 dogs, and 1 got eliminated. The person who won went clear, and they were faster than us, so that's fair enough. So we've just got a little while until our steeplechase, where there are supposed to be 6 competitors, and yeah, we'll see whether we can negotiate the course. I haven't got the whole course sussed out, but I am thinking it's a bit tricky because kind of come up here out of this yellow tunnel here, and then you do these 2 jumps, and then you need to come into the middle to do another jump, but I think there's a decent chance Tilly will just go straight into the tunnel, and if you do manage to come out and do the jump, it then kind of twists back the other way, so I feel like that's tricky as well. I don't exactly know how to manage that. So we did the steeplechase, and I need to check, but I think we got a refusal. So she didn't go in the tunnel, so that was good. But yeah, she was kind of coming into me, and so instead of like driving forward to take the jumps, and one of the jumps I think we ended up going past, so that's a shame. But there we go. Here we go, nicely over the first 2 jumps and into the tunnel, and then out over these jumps, and then this is the tricky bit. So we managed that, but then this is a big old mess because I don't really know how I should have done that, but then we're going nicely here over the jumps, but then this is where she starts coming to me. Maybe I'm a bit far behind her, and then this is where we got our refusal, but we've finally managed to get over there, and then doing some more jumps again around here, to finish off. There's 1 more. We did get a refusal, but we also won. There were 5 dogs who entered, and it was close between us and second place, less than a second in it, but yeah, they knocked a pole, I think, so they had 5 faults, And yeah, we just snuck in a little bit faster than it. We're just heading over to the same ring actually that we were in for the steeplechase, because it will be our jumping very shortly. And there are 4 grade 2s maybe? I think there's 4 in each of our jumpings, and then there's only 2 in our remaining agility class. So yes, not too many competitors. But there seems to be another show that everyone's at, and I've kind of got FOMO that we're not at that show, but never mind, we're at this show. We have checked out the course, and it's basically the same as the steeplechase course, but with a couple of the jumps switched out for the weaves. So hopefully, having kind of done it before, that'll help, and maybe we can try and do a bit better in terms of getting the drive over the jumps instead of coming in, but we will see. And it's possible that when I get out there maybe they have moved some of the stuff that's a bit different, but certainly the path is the same. There is some shooting going on in the distance, so Tilly might be a bit freaked out. So we're done the jumping, and it went well apart from the weaves. We messed up the weaves. She got a bit distracted and then kind of missed a pole, because while she was distracted she'd kind of gone forwards, and then I think she was confused as to why I was making her go back and do it, because she was like, but I'm doing great. The sequence of jumps was much better than on the steeplechase. I tried to, I thought maybe on the steeplechase maybe I was kind of turning too soon, and maybe I need to just keep kind of going straight until like the last jump, until she'd kind of clocked the last jump before coming around. So that's kind of what I tried to do, and it seemed to be successful. Okay, here we come to do some jumping. So we make a nice start and go into the tunnel, which is just off shot, and then we attempt to make it into the weaves. And then we had a small technical difficulty, so you can't see us messing up the weaves. Here we are trying to fix the mess up. Somebody rescued our phone for us, which is nice. So then we finish off the weaves, and then we have this difficult bit of jumps where this time I tried a front cross, also wasn't a terrific option. But then here we are doing some lovely jumps, much smoother than we did in the steeplechase, all the way around. Still doing lovely jumping, and then we go over the final jump. So we won, because out of the 6 dogs who ran the course, so the 4 grade 2s and 2 grade 1s, we were the only ones that didn't get eliminated. So yeah, we're on our way to check out our next jumping course, which is currently being set up. We now also have our agility course being set up, so it's a race of the setups. Okay, the agility course won the setup race. They're now walking, but over lunch. So I kind of suspect the jumping might do the same, but I guess it's possible they might finish setting up and make a start. We have checked out the courses. The jumping seems really long. So I'm not sure how it's going to go. I've got a blind cross planned, which I don't know how well that will work. But yeah, the weaves are at the start, and then it's just like run and keep running. There's 3 tunnels, and we do 2 of them twice, so that's 5 tunnels in one course. That's a lot, I feel. I'm losing confidence that this jumping is going to happen before agility, and I've got the jumping course in my head, but it's only like 12 minutes to 1 and the agility is starting at 1. Maybe I should have another look at the agility course. So I have a couple of concerns about this agility course. One is jump number 5, which is after you come off the A-frame, you do one jump that's nice, and then one that's kind of a bit of a weird angle, and he's like sort of going around the back of it. So I'm a little bit worried about that. And then also there's a little kind of jump maneuver towards the end that I'm not completely confident on. Okay, if we've got confirmation, it's going to be the agility first, and that's going to be at 1, and then jumping is going to be at 1:15 or so. So we need to get in the zone on the agility. Also, the other grade 2 in the agility is pulled out, so we're the only ones. So it's first or nothing. Some more thoughts on this agility course. There's no seesaw, that's been taken out, maybe because of the wind, I'm not sure. And there is also a potential tunnel trap. After the A-frame, we've got a jump, and then we've got the weird jump, and Tilly might take the tunnel. Also, Tilly is wanting to leave. I think she's like, I'm not waiting around, let's go back to the car now. But it's almost time for 5 minutes, and that'll be the agility, and then we should be straight on to the jumping, which is going to be a big massive run. And then after that we can get some lunch. I'm really hungry, but been waiting around not knowing what's happening, even though as it turns out we have plenty of time to get lunch. But you know, that's just how these things go. So just the agility, it wasn't the best agility in the world. We had this thing again where, because the classes are so small and they were like ready to start, and we were there and no one else was there, so we like signed in and we were straight in and we were the first ones. Tilly says he's hot and sunny, I'm gonna just be in the shade here. So she missed the contact on the A-frame. She also missed the contact on the dog walk, so she's done some very naughty contacts today. We definitely had at least one refusal, and also the weird angle jump wasn't very smooth. So yes, not the most brilliant run, but we were the only grade 2 entrants, and I don't think we got eliminated, in which case we will have won, but we've probably got about a million votes. So shortly it'll be time for the jumping, which yes, I think I need to just go for it. So yeah, I don't know if I've got enough puff, but we'll see what happens. This is our agility run. We had a nice start, and then doing quite a tight turn there into the A-frame, and then we're kind of just off shot here with the kind of trickier jump with a bit of a strange angle, and then we come up to the weaves, which she's not super keen to go in, a bit of kind of dancing around there, but then we do eventually get in, but yeah, very very slow through here, but then we go nicely into a jump and a tunnel, and then we're going round off shot again, and then we have these couple of jumps where we didn't do a very good job of negotiating them, bit of a refusal, and then off to the end. We actually only got 10 volts, a refusal and a 5 volts, so we must have got the contact on the A-frame, and then I reckon we just had towards the end my failed kind of front cross, and then jumping the contact on the dog walk just before the final jump. So yeah, not quite as bad as I thought, but yeah, pretty slow. We avoided getting time faults, but I think we pretty went far off that. And the person, like, we would have been beaten by grade 1s if we'd been competing against those. So yeah, not a very spectacular first place. I've heard someone else say that this jumping course is a lot of running, so it's not just me making this up. Okay, we've done a jumping run, and I'm reasonably pleased with how it went. She did nice weaves. She got in them when I didn't think she was going to. And then, yeah, she did quite nicely. There was one bit where she kind of looked at me and was like, is this what we did? But yeah, they finished nicely. And then she went over the third jump, right, but then she was carrying on to like an off-course jump. And I managed to get her to come back to do the turn. But yeah, that was a very big turn for the final jump coming out of the tunnel. I was like way back and I was like, Tilly, go on, I can't get there fast enough. And she waited a bit, so we lost a bit more time there. So yeah, it was not flawless, but it did have some good bits, for sure. So yeah, we need to check the results to see whether we got any refusals and stuff. And the person after us, I think, did better than us, so we'll see whether there were grade 2 dogs. There were 4 grade 2s on this one, so. Okay, here we are, ready to do some jumping. So over the first jump and straight into the weaves. And then doing some lovely weaving along here. And then this is where we should be doing a sharp turn, but Tilly doesn't realise that, so does a very wide turn. But then we get into our stride with our series of tunnels and jumps and more tunnels and more jumps. And then as we come along here, she comes into me a little bit there, so that's not entirely perfect, but we get back into it. And then this is where we kind of mess up, so almost getting a refusal there, and then I put in this blind, which is also a bit scrappy. Maybe I would have been better off choosing the other wing, I don't know. And then this is where I try to get Tilly to run ahead because I'm lagging behind. There's the end. Okay, I checked the results, and the good news is we went clear. The bad news is we are currently second out of 2, but you know, that's okay. We went clear, that's what I wanted. And yeah, I know that there were bits where we lost a lot of time, so I'm kind of okay with that. Update on starting strategy. We did the same, well, similar strategy today, except I didn't actually, because the classes were so small, we weren't queuing a lot, and a couple of them we just went kind of straight in, so well, it really kind of came out the first one that we were there, it was just a big rush. I just took her harness off, and so I wasn't giving her treats, but she still didn't run off, and so yeah, I would say I continued the practice of just letting her be free range, and she didn't run off and take any of the obstacles, and she did a bit more coming into the ring. She still hung back, but sometimes she came into the ring a bit, and yeah, as soon as I was like, let's go, like let's actually start the course, she came straight away, so that was really good. And yeah, all of it worked really nicely for getting into the course, so it continues to be working for us, so cool. We have quite a haul of wings, although that says more about how many people were here than about how amazing of a job we did. So we have got 2 second places, one for our clear jumping, and one for our agility, our first agility, where we jumped off the dog walk. And then we've got 3 first places, one for our steeplechase, where we got a refusal, I think, one for the agility where we got a refusal and jumped off the dog walk, and one for the other jumping, which I can't remember, but we probably got a refusal. Oh no, the weaves, we messed up the weaves. So yeah, the 2 runs where we got our seconds were not our worst runs. Probably, yeah, the agility where we came first was, but yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. So yeah, you just roll with it. So our trophies, we got these crunchy ostrich treats, which I've had once before, and I like, and they don't sell them in the pet shop I go to, so that's exciting that we got this. And then we also got a glass dog trophy, which is the same kind of type that we've had one before, and it's like my favourite trophy they've had, and that was for when we won out of grade 1, so that was like an amazing achievement, whereas this I'm like not so much. And we got a random one, so this is the one we've got. We've got a sitting dog who's kind of plain. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I should have just got more treats, but it can make up for some of the other more boring trophies. So yeah, that was our final show at grade 2. So we're now going into grade 3. Next weekend we will be competing at grade 3. I don't really feel like we should be going up to grade 3, and it also feel like our performance today was, I mean, although we didn't get eliminated, which is kind of an achievement, like, I don't know, I'd kind of rather had like a couple of eliminations and then had some better, had like more clear rounds. We did manage one clear, but there were still issues. So yes, next week we are in grade 3. See you.